This program is part of the Devil's Mark Podcast Network, the official podcast network of Shadow Path Diabolism. This is the Dark Illumination Report Podcast, the official podcast of Shadow Path Diabolism, your daily dose of Diabolonian philosophy to inspire you on your journey down the crooked shadow path. Here's your host, R.J. Womack, Brother Nero.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this episode of the podcast. This is the Dark Illumination Report podcast for Monday, September 28th, 2020. And on today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the nature of hell, or the spiritual realm where Satan resides. Now, before I get into this, I want to say up front that whatever the experiences I've had or other people that I've known have had, you have to remember that these are just brief glimpses into the world that lies beyond. It's sort of like having a drop of water in a ocean. It is just a brief glimpse, and there is very little that you can tell from these experiences, or very little to know what the realm is like if you were to stay there for long periods of time. So I just want to be clear, because there are a lot of people on the internet who claim to have spiritual experiences they've never had, to claim to do magic they've never done, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you the impression that I'm an expert on all things that are Satan's kingdom, because I'm certainly not. And the experiences that I've had, although they've been profound and they've been life-changing for me, are just brief glimpses into that world. So I just want to be clear about that so that nobody misunderstands what I'm trying to say here. The one thing that seems to be characteristic of this realm is that it is a realm that is changeable, that is malleable, and it seems to change based on the perception of the person observing it. And that means that each person sees it differently and experiences it differently than another person. However, there does seem to be some landmarks that are consistent between experiences. Certain locations, certain environments are the same. At least that's what I've experienced. I had a friend of mine who I've told you about before on this podcast, who had an encounter with Satan and his kingdom when she was 7 years old. I had an experience with Lucifer and in Satan's kingdom, and my experiences were very similar to hers. In fact, we both had an experience in the same location, and we both could describe it to each other. So I believe that what we experienced was an objective reality, was an objective place in the universe. However, like I said, what seems to be the case with this realm is that it seems to change and morph depending on who's witnessing the environment. But there are certain locations that seem to stay the same. I want to reiterate that. Your experiences may be different. Your experiences may be completely different than mine, and that's okay. I'm just telling you what I experienced. I'm telling you what my friends experienced, and you can take that experience for whatever you think it's worth. But I hope it helps somebody, and I hope it helps you get some idea of what you can expect if you visit those realms, or if you manage to find a way to visit those realms. So that'll be it for today. This is a short one because I've got other podcasts I need to do to catch up with my schedule. So I hope it helped you. Take care, everybody. Hope to see you next time. May Satan be with you. Later.
If you would like to learn more about the Shadow Path Diabolism tradition of occultism, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com. If you enjoy this podcast and support our message, tell a friend, leave us a review, and follow us on social media.